And I want to say, again, it's about the feeling that I get, which is almost indescribable. I've tried to name it, and I'm going to tell you what I've come up with for right now. I would probably call it the Little House on the Prairie warming sensation effect.
Aww.
That it just gave me a warming sensation.
I thought you were going to go back to
body.
your old standby nipple lightning.
Nipple lightning.
It's deeper than nipple lightning. I mean, it's
oh wow,
it is.
Hello world is a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. A whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy.
Welcome to the Pop Culture Preservation Society, the podcast for people born in the big wheel generation who definitely, at some point, changed the channel with a set of pliers.
We believe our Gen X childhoods gave us unforgettable songs, stories, characters, and images. And if we don't talk about them, they'll disappear, like Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition.
And today, we will be saving the songs that told us our favorite show was coming up next, with a countdown of the best TV theme songs of all time.
I'm Carolyn.
I'm Kristin.
And I'm Michelle. And we are your pop culture preservationists.
There are songs that trigger memories of spending hours in front of the idiot box after school, or sitting on the couch with your whole family waiting for some big weekly event. And later, maybe it's a late night show, a sitcom that came on after the news every night that signaled the day was done. These songs are like portals into our childhoods, and they take up serious real estate in our brains.
I'm just going to say the word TV theme song. You sing the first thing that comes to mind. The Office, that's very respectable.
Yeah.
TV theme song, what's the first thing that comes to your head?
Here's the story of a man named Brady. He was living in a house with lots of kids.
Oh,
I don't
Kiesel,
remember.
you're out. TV theme song, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
We're moving on up to the top. To a deluxe apartment in the sky. We're moving on up to the top. We finally got a piece of the pie.
Sing the first TV theme song that comes to your head.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could be this free.
If you ask most people, and by people, I mean grown-ups, born anywhere from 1940 to 1980, to sing a TV theme song, any TV theme song off the top of their head, it might sound something like that.
It might, or it might sound like my husband who sang the theme song from Beretta.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. No,
you're a star.
Don't do it.
That was the
Nice.
first one that came to his mind.
That's the first one that came to his mind.
So we Gen Xers, and boomers too for that matter, this is a shared knowledge. We know the words. Our age mates know the words. That's why we sing these songs on the bus, right? Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. We're a modern family. What do our kids sing on the bus?
Yeah.
There was a golden age of TV theme songs, and according to Paste magazine, it ended in 2008.
I think there's something to be said for just the kind of television shows that happened after 2008. They're just the family-friendly, let's all sit down together. They just weren't existing as much anymore.
That's the siloing, right? You can't, there isn't a show that is for a group of people of various ages. It's very hyper-focused.
That first hour of TV used to be very wholesome. And of course you'll sit down and watch the Waltons and Little House on the Prairie, and we're 8, 9, 10, and 11. I just think in terms of the whole television evening experience as a child, which is kind of what we're talking about, that our childhood, there just wasn't anything that for a long time, even to me in the after the growing pains, family ties kind of generation of TV that really ever happened again.
Well, and for me at least, and I'll be able to share some of this when we're talking about our choices for best TV theme songs, I looked as forward to the theme song as I did to the show I was going to watch.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
These are some of the theme songs that broke into the top 10. So these
Big
ones,
hits.
Yeah, big hits.
Okay.
We have The Rockford Files was number 10 in 1975. Hill Street Blues, number 10 in 1981. Theme from Happy Days, Rock Around the Clock, was number 5 in 1976. Making It. Do you remember that show, Making It?
Oh, yeah.
I'm making it. I've got the chance. I'm taking it. No more begging.
Okay, what I want
Obviously,
everyone to do, if you want the biggest form of entertainment tonight, is I want you to go on YouTube, and I want you to search the theme from Making It and watch the man sing it. And he was the star of the show too. And he grew because
David
the show,
Naughton.
if you'll remember,
I had a little crush on him.
David Naughton. So the show only lasted 9 episodes, Making It, and it is in TV Guide's list of the worst TV shows of all time. And
oh my God, you're kidding.
It was about nope.
It's a good song. The show may have been super shitty, but the song is really good.
But watching him groove because it opens with like 3 solid minutes of just music, and he cannot disco more than he's discoing in that.
He is definitely on
stage.
cocaine, I'm going to say, because he just walks back and forth like a caged bear.
It's a caged bear with ants in his
pants.
Okay.
Isn't he in like a Dr. Pepper commercial?
Yes, he's the Dr. Pepper guy.
Peppers, wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Be a pepper tree, Dr. Pepper.
Yes, I'm a pepper, you're a
job.
pepper, we're a pepper, something pepper.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper
Okay.
too?
All right. Okay. We digress, but that was a good rabbit hole. So Making It was number 5 in
Making
1979. Hawaii Five-0, number 4 in 1969. And Greatest American Hero reached number 2 in 1981.
Whoa.
Drum roll, please. So, okay, but there were 2 songs that I found that actually hit number 1, and one of them in 1976. Actually, both of these were in 1976. 1976 was a big year for theme songs.
It's a big
there
year.
were some in the top 10. The theme from SWAT. Hit number 1 in 1976 because it was very disco, very funky, and that was the height of disco. And it's a great song.
I always get it mixed up with the theme from Shaft.
Oh,
It sounds
Andy can do the
really-
theme from Shaft,
Oh my
too.
God. He can
Beretta,
sing it?
Shaft, Kojak. Well, he does like the music and stuff. Like he's like a beatboxer or something.
I want to see this.
Do you guys want to
yeah.
guess? There was another number 1 song. This is a lyric song in 1976 that reached number 1 on the Billboard charts.
Another,
wanna
so
take a guess?
1976, and did you say what, number 1? It hit number 1?
Number 1, yeah.
I am coming up with a total blank. What else could it be? A number? So it means we had to hear it a lot.
You guys just want me to sing it, don't you?
I do want you to sing it, actually.
Welcome back.
Oh, of course.
Oh, I didn't know
Oh
that
my
got to number
God.
1.
Welcome back, Cotter. The theme from Welcome Back, Cotter reached
Mr.
number 1 in
Kotter.
1976.
Of course
Wow.
it did. In third
The more
grade.
you know.
Yes.
Okay, so then you had, so those were songs that were like theme songs that were actual songs, and they played
lot of
on the
them.
radio constantly. That's why we loved them. So then you had songs that actually explained the premise of the show, and the master of this was Sherwood Schwartz, who created the Brady Bunch and Gilligan's Island, who wrote his own theme songs in order clearly to tell the watcher what was
Yes.
coming. And they generally started with something like, here's a story. So I'm gonna sing you a couple and see if you can name the show. So of course there's here's a story of a
Lovely
Man
lady.
named Brady. That would be
na-na-na. Okay, so obviously
Okay,
the
we got
Brady,
Brady
Bunch,
Brady
right?
Bunch.
Sit right back and you'll hear a tale
A tale
of
of a fateful trip.
There you go.
That start Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island. Okay, then there's listen to a story about a man named
Jed.
Poor mountaineer barely
kept the family
fed. And then
Beverly
Then
Hill
one
Boys.
day he was shooting for some food. Out from the boat, something came the bubbling crude.
Oil, that
That is.
Black gold.
Black gold.
Texas tea.
And they didn't always start with here's a story or let me tell you or here's a tale. But they told you the story anyway. You knew what was happening. So like here's one that doesn't say here's a story, but it has in it Darling, I Love You by Give Me Park Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
Green Acres.
Green
Yeah, I
Acres.
was about to say,
Green
what?
Acres
I
is
could
the
picture it,
place
yeah.
for me.
For me.
It tells you the whole setup in the song. So
They
know
tell
what's
you the
coming.
whole story.
Okay, so then you have the iconic instrumentals. There
my
are
gosh.
things with no words, but they were drilled into our minds. And not only do we know them and can sing them, we heard them on the radio.
What about Dallas? Dun,
Dallas.
Yeah.
I have the
Okay.
Waltons down. That was on my top
Sing
10
it,
list.
Caroline.
didn't-
Sing it. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I think every kid who was a band member in the 80s had to play, and probably still had to play Hawaii Five-O. And
Yeah.
every cheerleader did a routine to Hawaii Five-O.
Did you know that
sure.
the Hawaii Five-O theme is the unofficial fight song of the University of Hawaii?
No.
I love that. I
Again,
love that.
Fun fact.
Isn't that a fun fact?
I also liked, I like this one. This is one I wrote down because this was a show, I've mentioned it before on the podcast, I got to stay up and watch with my mom and loved Heart to Heart. And after he says, and my name is Matt, and I take care of both of them, which they need. Because when they met, it was murder.
And then there's MASH. But MASH was an instrumental when we watched it on TV, but it has words. So was MASH a movie first?
MASH was a movie, and the lyrics. So I think, okay, IMHO, I think this is the most iconic of all instrumentals. So yeah, it was a movie first, and they did have the lyrics with the movie, but then when they did the TV show, they removed the lyrics quite wisely, some say, because the title of the song is Suicide is Painless.
Yeah.
That's right.
Comes with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think so. This is a song beloved by all junior high flute players, right?
Yes, I was going to say that
Right?
band.
And I have, there is one little instant, like a microsecond in the opening to MASH that gives me goosebumps every single time. And it's this scene where these women dressed in their fatigues are just like running like hell.
Oh, yeah.
They're just running their asses off like this tight little cluster of Wonder Women, and they're going to kick some ass. They're going to save somebody's life. And I just like, I love it so much. And when I watch it with Mike, if I'm not in the room yet, he'll be like, he'll call out, "The ladies are running! The ladies are running!" Okay, did you also know who wrote the lyrics for the theme to MASH?
No.
Okay, so
Sherwood
the
Schwartz.
lyrics, which we don't hear in the TV show, but we do hear in the movie, were written by Robert Altman's 14-year-old son. Robert Altman was the director of the movie. He's 14 years old, and it was like some poem he wrote in his journal, and his dad like, "Dang, that's good. Let's put this into a song." And then that kid, has made over $1 million in royalties.
Wow.
Wow.
I know.
Did
Good
he
for
become a
him.
songwriter or anything? Do we know?
No,
who he
I don't
is?
think he did. I don't think he did.
Sells insurance and Boca Raton.
Little boy Altman. Way to go.
Wow.
Good
That's
for him. Yeah,
impressive.
I'm proud of him.
Okay, how about this for like you know a song is iconic when you have a neighbor with an old jalopy full of junk, and every time it drives past your apartment, you go burp burp burner. Burp burp burner 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 burp burp burner.
Very good.
That was really good. Yeah.
Burr person.
Burp 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 burner. Which of
Love
course
it.
is Sanford and Son. So when Mike was like a newly minted adult and he lived in this apartment with like 19 other guys, and they'd sit out on the porch, and every time that jalopy drove by, one of the guys would go burp burp burner.
See, and everyone knew what he was doing.
And
That's
everyone
that
knew
bonding
exactly what he was
experience.
referring to.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's exactly right.
Yep. It's impossible to talk about instrumentals without at least mentioning Mike Post.
this is true. And I'm going to do a little more than mention him because, my goodness.
That's a rabbit hole, right?
Yes. Oh, my gosh, was it a rabbit hole?
I'm excited.
yes.
I've never heard his name.
Oh, my. Well,
What?
So here we go.
Let me tell you.
I'm
we
your
go.
audience.
Fill us in,
might have-
Carolyn.
He is worth maybe an entire episode of Pop
Yeah, he
Culture
really
Preservation Society. So what John Williams is to the music movies, so a music movie composer, we know John Williams, Star Wars, all that stuff.
Right, yes.
That is what Mike Post is to television. In 1974, he wrote The Rockford Files. As Michelle has told us, that became a top 10 hit. He actually won a Grammy for that in 1975 for Best Instrumental Arrangement.
So it wasn't an award for a TV show song. It was just an award
it's
for
a Grammy.
song.
Yes.
Got
Best
it.
Instrumental
Good
Arrangement.
for you, Mike Post.
Went on to win 2 more Grammys for instrumental arrangements. Hill Street Blues and L.A. Law were also Mike Post creations. All right. He wrote the TV theme song for Magnum P.I. It's especially fun that he did this, you guys, because guess what? He was childhood friends with Tom Selleck. He graduated in the same high school class with Tom Selleck. I know.
Is that just a coincidence?
One of my absolute favorite TV theme songs happens to be a Mike Post composition. You guys might not even know that.
No.
He co-wrote the theme song, The Greatest American Hero. Joey Scarborough only sang it. Yes.
I did not know that.
I want to read you now a quick list. I'm going to try to do it in one breath. I don't even know if I can. Of some of his, I don't even know if I'm including all of them, but these are TV theme songs that Mike Post has given us. Here you go. The A-Team, Baba Black Sheep, Blossom, The Commish, Doogie Howser, MD, The Greatest American Hero, Hardcastle and McCormick, Hooperman, Hunter, Magnum P.I., News Radio, Prophet, Quantum Leap, Renegade, Riptide, Silk Stockings, Stingray, Tales of the Gold Monkey, 10 Speed and Brown Shoe, The White Shadow, and Wise Guy. Can you believe
That's
all of
amazing.
this?
I love Doogie's theme song.
I love Doogie.
Yes.
We think we're growing up to the Bee Gees or whomever, but really we're growing up to Mike Post and we don't even know it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's the music of our
When
coming
you hear
of
that
age.
list, isn't that amazing?
So just like our Barry Manilow episode earlier this season, we asked our social media followers to send us their favorite TV theme songs of all time. And they ponied up with over 50 TV shows. Many of them mentioned over and over and over. You can only imagine, right? And then Carolyn and Michelle and I all created our own personal top 10 lists and also asked the people around us to share their favorites, as you heard Michelle doing. And every mention got counted, whether it was in person or online. And I then put my math helmet on and I came up with a definitive ranking of the top 10 TV theme songs from the golden age of TV theme songs, as long as you don't ask me to check my work. And there will be ties. There will be ties because math is math. That's just the way it goes.
That's right.
And so now, as Casey Kasem would say, on with our countdown. In the number 10 spot, we have 2 songs. I said that there would be ties, right? We have 2 songs that made a moderate showing in the race, but squeaked into the countdown with the help of their very strong showing on Michelle's and my personal top 10 lists. For me, it was The Courtship of Eddie's Father.
For me, it was Family Ties.
So The Courtship of Eddie's Father is by Harry Nilsson, and I'm a Nilsson, so I have a lot of feelings. I have special feelings for Harry Nilsson. And the song is called Best Friend. People, let me tell you about my best friend.
He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end of people.
And the opening sequence of the show starts with the 2 of them walking on the beach, Bill Bixby and his little boy, Eddie, walking on the beach, and Eddie will ask a very earnest, childlike question. And Bill Bixby is all sexy in his bell bottoms and his skin tight V-neck sweater with the wide collar, and he's got his tinted aviators on. And they run on the beach and they climb rocks and they play airplane. It's like your romantic fantasy translated into a parent-child relationship. It'll break your heart. And Harry Nilsson captures it perfectly. And when I was little, I would watch this portion of the show and I would cry. There's a little tear coming down my face. I loved it so much.
Okay. And for me, this song came in for me at number 4, which I actually, after I sent it, it might even be higher. But, I mean, the theme from Family Ties, the song makes me tear up every time I hear it because the lyrics are so sweet and it's set to these photos from the family album that are just kind of going from when, especially in season 1 and 2, when Stephen and Elise meet through when they're hippies, and then when she's pregnant, and then they have the babies, and the lyrics are just so beautiful. And then it's the whole, what would we do, baby, without us? Without us, what would we do, baby, without us? And then, you guys, it's Johnny Mathis with that sweet, sweet liquid gold voice. And Denise Williams of, Let's Hear It for the Boy fame. Yep. And their voices just blend together so beautifully. And I will say that I know people listening right now are agreeing with me that is just a beautiful, beautiful theme song. And what made it's a beautiful song on its own, but the images they put with it, it did. It was a song that made me very emotional. Still does, because I think I've told you guys I've been watching it on Paramount Plus.
It makes you love that family. All right, in the number 9 spot, Michelle is the one who rated this next song the highest on her countdown. And since her husband serenaded us with it, I think she should tell us what we have in the number 9 spot.
Yes, coming in for me at number 5 is Believe It or Not, I'm Walking on It's air. The theme from The Greatest American Hero.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing.
So it was number 5 on your personal top 10.
On my personal top 10, it's number 9 here. Sorry, it's number 9. And it's so singable. I do have to tell you a funny story. So when I was asking, and Brian sang that immediately, he then revealed later, he's like, I don't know why that popped into my head. I've never even seen that show.
I didn't watch the show either, but I can sing it.
Well,
I'm totally on the same page. There are lots of shows I did not watch regularly, but I can sing the songs. And that comes down to that fact that we didn't have as many shows. So we did know the songs. Okay, number 8. Of the 3 of us, I am the only one who had this next song in my top 10. You guys, I cannot even believe this. But our followers chimed in with enough votes to push it into the number 8 spot. Number 8, you guys, it's our theme song. How could you not put the Partridge Family on your top 10? Come on, get happy.
It's embarrassing moment.
I can't even believe it.
Hello world, here's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy.
Did you know that there were 2 versions of that song?
I did not.
So in the first season, it was more of a storytelling style. It's the same exact tune, but it wasn't Come On Get Happy. It was called When We're Singing, and it was Come on down and meet everybody and hear us singing. There's nothing better than being together when we're singing. 5 of us. This is the whole performance, right? 5 of us and Mom working all day. We knew we could help her if our music would play. Danny got Ruben to sell our song, and it really came together when Mom sang along. So it was clearly written by a 5th grader.
I think it's adorable.
It is adorable, but it is not professional. So then, it's like they're trying to retrofit the words into the rhythm of the song. So then by season 2, you have, again, the same tune, new lyrics. Hello world, here's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. A whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy. I just think it's better. It's just better. Yeah. We had a dream, we go traveling together, we spread a little love, and then we keep moving on. Something always happens whenever we're together.
Something always happens whenever we're together, and we spread a lot of love. That's exactly why we chose that song as our theme song for those listening.
Precisely.
We looked at the lyrics of we knew we wanted to have something recognizable. And so we looked at the lyrics of a lot. We thought a TV theme song would be funny. And because we had we knew we wanted the TV image. This is way back, you guys, in September. And we, way back, so long ago. It does seem like a long time ago. We've come a long way since then, yeah. But we wanted a TV theme song, and we thought actually, Kristin, just so all of you listening, Kristin wanted us to sing it. Remember that, Kristin?
Do you want me to do it again?
Carolyn and I stopped that right away. But anyway, the lyrics of Come On, Get Happy, not because we wanted to make everybody happy. That was our mission. We wanted to bring joy, and something always happens as long as we're together was so true too, because we all had such a good time talking about Gen X stuff every time we were together. And that's, there you go.
There you go. Okay, number 7. At number 7, we have another tie between
The Love Boat
and
The Facts of Life.
Well, mine was The Love Boat. That was my song.
Love, exciting and new. Come aboard.
As we prepared for this episode, I listened to it and I got the same feeling inside. And it's more about the experience of that song and how it makes me feel that I put it on my list. Because it's this feeling of anticipation. As I have stated to you guys many times, I had this thing that I loved about seeing a celebrity from one place show up somewhere else, like Battle of the Network Stars, or in this case, The Love Boat. And they were a different character, and I just love that. And so that's when we learned, while that theme song is playing, the little portholes would show with the guest stars' faces. And so that's when I would learn.
Yeah.
Yes. Who was going to be on? Was it going to be Elkie Summer? Who was on?
Who was never in anything except game shows and The Love Boat.
And so I just loved the feeling I still can get inside when I hear that song. It was kind of this anticipatory, like, oh, who's going to be on this week? And that's why I chose that song. So it wasn't as much the lyrics or anything like that. Because again, cheesy and Jack Jones. Yeah.
But I think, Carolyn, that's equally as important. I think the feeling you get from the theme song is equally as important as you picking one, because I loved the lyrics, or for sure, that's why I picked most of mine. Family Ties, and this next one, The Facts of Life, is the same a lot. I loved the show.
You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. The Facts of Life.
Also, Facts of Life, guys, just to remind you, is tied at number 7 with The Love Boat. And I loved the show, one of my favorite shows in 5th and 6th and 7th grade. And we loved to sing this song at recess. In fact, I'm a little disappointed it wasn't in my day in the life, because we would play Foursquare and sing, we were so proud of the fact we knew all the words. We even knew the lesser known, trickier verse. When the boys you used to date, you hate, it seems you best investigate the facts of life. It was, that one's not always shown. That was only in the longer versions of the title of the theme song. So it's just a fun, happy song. Did you guys like Facts of Life?
I loved Facts of Life, particularly in that first year. And I think the words to that song were kind of speaking to us exactly, because this was pre-adolescent and teen girls speaking to us pre-adolescent and teen girls. And wouldn't you have liked to hang out in a house with all your buddies 100% of the time with no parents around?
And then George Clooney is going to move in and run the candy shop next door.
Right.
Or help run the candy shop next door.
Totally. And again, there's just a candy shop. Just the fact that there's a candy shop. Okay, in the number 6 spot, we have another tie. Good thing I warned you, right? In the number 6 spot, the first one was on all 3 of our lists, roughly in the same spot. So we're all on the same page here. And the second one was really high on Michelle and Carolyn's list, but never even occurred to me, which I think is kind of funny. So all 3 of us have big feelings about One Day at a Time. And the 2 of you are both in love with
Little House on the Prairie. Oh, I love that. And that's another... Yes, and I'll put in
I'm even going to sing the instrumentals, guys.
So you're talking about the opening sequence, not dun 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 dun.
Oh no, the
dun,
opening.
Dun. It's the opening.
I mean, I love the dun dun the ending one
no,
too.
for me it's the opening.
But I do
the French
opening
horn one.
Yes, those iconic 4 French horn notes in the beginning. want to say, again, it's about the feeling that I get, which is almost
for sure.
indescribable. I've tried to name it, and I'm going to tell you what I've come up with for right now. I would probably call it the Little House on the Prairie warming sensation effect. That it just gave me a warming sensation.
I thought you were going to go back to
body.
your old standby nipple lightning.
Nipple lightning.
It's deeper than nipple lightning. I mean, it's
oh wow,
like you wet
it
yourself.
Is. Yeah, it goes to my toes.
That warm groin feeling.
It's worms everywhere.
No, I wrote that down on my paper. It says it right here. I just have a lot of feelings associated with the show. And like, for those of you listening, go back and listen to our Little House on the Prairie episode from season 1. We talk a lot about those feelings, but I just have a lot of feelings associated with the show and the theme the French horn and the music, it just amplifies those feelings.
Yeah. One Day at a Time is just a good song. It's just a good song. And I'm surprised it wasn't on the radio. How could that song have not been on the radio? And I have a very distinct, if you recall, it starts like, this is it.
This is it. This is it. This is life. The one you get. So go and have a ball.
Have a ball. Clearly I don't know all the words. But what I do have is a memory. Oh God, my mom's going to kill me. My mom loved this song also. She loved this show. She loved Bonnie Franklin. And she would stand up and she would dance and she would do like almost like she's jogging a little bit. And then she would smack her ass. This is it. She's going to kill me. Oh my God. I love it. Smacking her haunches. I used to have this ongoing argument with one of my roommates, Martha, hello Martha, who swore. So the line is, so up on your feet, somewhere there's music play. And Martha swore it was so wop on the beat. So wop on the
Martha.
beat. Wop on the beat. Wait, Carolyn, you thought it was wop on the beat?
I don't know if I thought about the wop, but I definitely did on the beat. I'm not sure what I was last night years old when I realized those were not the words. I just want everyone to know.
Kidding.
I think I always thought it was so up on your feet.
So up on your feet,
like
up on your feet.
UP, not wop.
No, not wop.
I always thought it was so up
she
on
thought
your
it was
feet,
wop on the beat. It's up on your feet.
Somewhere there's music. Well, it makes sense because then you say somewhere there's music playing.
We'll just take life as
so does a beat make sense.
There's no beat.
I think it was, feet. I thought, so jump on the beat. It was jump on the beat. Somewhere. Of course you're going to jump on the beat. Somewhere there's music playing.
Don't you worry now.
Our listeners can contribute.
One day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time.
It's just a good song. It's just a really good song.
Oh my God, everybody who's listening, stop screaming at us. We cannot hear you.
We can't hear you.
You know they are.
Okay, here's another one that was on all of our lists, all three of us. Because it's awesome, in the number 5 spot we have Schlemiel Schlemazel.
We need to do a reel with us doing,
We
because
do.
I would do the choreographed thing with my sister, and she'd be, Shirley, I'd be Laverne.
Up and the down.
We'd go up and down, and then go off with our
You should see the
Hassenpfeffer.
choreography that's going on right now. So, did we name the show? It's Laverne and Shirley. If you didn't know that, in the number 5 spot is Laverne and Shirley. And it's also just an awesome song. And it was written by Norman Gimbel and Charles Fox, who also wrote the Happy Days theme. And Penny Marshall contributed that. They call it a hopscotch chant. I didn't know what the hell that was. What the Hassenpfeffer Incorporated. I did not know what that was. But apparently that was thanks to Penny Marshall. And here are your vitamins for the day. Get ready. A Schlemiel means a habitual bungler. A Schlemazel is an extremely unlucky or inept person. This is Yiddish, I'm assuming. Hassenpfeffer is rabbit stew. And why they put incorporated on the end, I have no idea.
What you need to do now, and everyone listening needs to do, because I discovered this last night, and it just made my heart happy. It's a YouTube video of a concert that the Killers, who I didn't really know who the Killers were.
I've seen them in concert.
But now I do, and now I love them. They brought the Violent Femmes up on stage in Milwaukee, and they sing this song, and it is so fun and cute. Yes, so I will put a link in the show notes. It is so great. It was like their homage to the city of Milwaukee, but it was fun.
Okay, this I did not know. These guys that wrote Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days also wrote the Wonder Woman theme, which did not get a single vote. Not one person said Wonder Woman, but that song is a kick in the pants. Wonder Woman. It's right? That is a good song. It's like this hard driving feminist anthem. And I never really heard the words before, but it's like, Wonder Woman in your satin tights, fighting for your rights, and the red, white, and blue. Wonder Woman.
All the world is waiting for you and the power you possess. In your satin tights, fighting for your rights, and the old red, white, and blue.
I mean, it is serious. It's serious. And that's a good example of a show. I really didn't watch that much, but I loved the theme song. I knew that theme song. Okay, number 4. Carolyn, what do we have at number 4?
Well, you guys, we have another classic, wonderful one. Welcome back, Kotter.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about.
And as Michelle pointed out, that actually hit number 1 on the Billboard chart. So that's, I think, maybe the only TV theme song that hit number 1, because Greatest American Hero was number 2. I've got some fun facts for you about this song, too.
Good.
So buckle up, you guys. So it's sung by John Sebastian. John Sebastian was an original member of the Lovin Spoonful.
Oh, I didn't know that. How did I not know
so then they had kind of broken up, and he had gone on his own way, and he had really not been doing much before he wrote this. So there was the Lovin Spoonful days, and then there was, all of a sudden, he's back in the groove because he wrote and sang the Welcome Back Kotter song. I think it's because he was very lucky. His godparents were looking down on him. Guess who his godparents are?
Oh, my God.
You'll never guess.
Mike Post.
No, not Mike Post. His godmother is Vivian Vance. His godmother is Ethel.
Oh, Ethel.
Yes, from I Love Lucy. His godfather is Garth Williams, the children's book illustrator.
No. What are you talking about?
Who illustrated The Little House on the Prairie books, Charlotte's Web, Stuart Little, and a lot of little golden books. Can you believe that?
That
Ethel?
is crazy.
I know.
Ethel and Garth Williams.
Yes.
Not
so
Garth
I
Brooks.
think... No, not Garth Brooks.
Isn't it an interesting family, though, that Vivian Vance and Garth Williams were in their circle of friends?
The same circle?
That's a very eclectic circle.
How do they know both of those people?
How fun is that?
That's some good stuff, Carolyn.
Not to mention, those are great lyrics in that song. I love that song.
And don't you wonder, since it was such a big hit, how many more viewers did the show get because of that song being on the radio? And it was such a good song. I mean, people are going to be like, I'm going to watch that show. The two of you need to introduce our number 3 song because you both put it in the number 1 spot on your list. And we did these lists confidentially.
No contest.
Yes,
Yeah,
this is number 1 for both of you.
There's a plate of homemade wishes on the kitchen windowsill, and 8 is enough to fill our lives with love.
Let's go. I mean, when we talked about, we have an 8 is enough entire podcast episode. People go back and find it. It's a good one. And we talk a lot about that theme song. Yeah. It's beautiful and it gives us all the feels. And we're not the only ones. I know many of you listening feel the same way because when we did the 8 is enough theme song, we got a lot of comments about that. The theme song. So it's
number 3 on our list. I mean,
number 3. And I think it's a theme song that got buried. I think once you trigger people's memory about it, they're like, oh my God, the theme song. And they really, really go back in time and remember how much they loved it.
Oh, and the golden pipes of Grant Goodeve.
Oh, sweetheart.
His voice is just as pretty as his face.
Yep. With his ski jacket on. Number 2. Let's move on. Number 2.
Alrighty.
This whole experiment was really a contest between the next 2 songs. It was a nail biter. But in the end, one of them took a definitive lead. And at number 2, we have the song that I put in my number 1 spot. Oh, we're moving on up to the east side. Okay, I'm going to start now.
Deluxe apartment
In the sky.
Well, we're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Moving on up.
Okay, so moving on up from the Jeffersons it's basically a storytelling song like we talked about in the beginning. It tells you exactly what the show is about. And you have George and Wheezy on the sidewalk and they're looking up, right, at their new apartment. They're moving on up to the east side. And this is how I learned of the cachet of living on the top floor, that was significant, that meant you were really making it in the world. And I understood the double meaning. I was like, oh, that's so clever. Where they were moving on up in life and they were moving on up to the top floor of this new apartment building. And I just thought that was so clever. I loved it. I mean, just try not to clap along to that song, right?
You can't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's impossible.
And you might have to stand up, too. I think
Maybe
a lot of
hit
people...
your haunches?
Yeah.
Like Linda? Hit your haunches?
Smack your haunch. Smack your haunches while you jog. It's a jogging dance. So a lot of people know this already, but it was sung by Janae Dubois, who played Willona on Good Times. Good Times was actually, that was my number 9 pick.
That's a very good theme song.
It's a really good theme song.
Temporary layoffs. Good times. Easy credit rip-offs. Good times.
I'm really disappointed it didn't make it into our top 10. Okay. And now, for the number 1 TV theme song of our shared TV history, as voted by you, the members of the Pop Culture Preservation Society.
Ladies and gentlemen, this song features our beloved hometown of Minneapolis and our hat-tossing Saturday night bestie, Mary Richards. The number 1 song is the theme from the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Who can turn the world on with her smile? Who can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile? Well, it's you, girl, and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around, no need to waste it. You can have the town, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all.
That song is Minnesota to me. It's the beauty of my new home. When I moved here, it's the beauty of my new city, this place that I was going to be going to. And this is how my mom sold it to me. We're going to the place where Mary Richards lives.
Oh,
yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, absolutely.
That's darling.
And I know, and I get very warm and fuzzy feelings about that. I thought Mary was going to be like sitting on my doorstep when I arrived. But it's also a bedtime song for me because I would be all tucked in, cozy in my bed, and Mary Tyler Moore came on every night at 10 o'clock after the news, and my parents had the little portable Panasonic TV on their dresser, and I could hear that the theme song beginning, and it was an every night, nightly thing. Like it was my lullaby. It was putting me to bed.
You have a feeling with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a warm, cozy, tucked in feeling. So Mary Tyler Moore was the clear winner by a long shot. She really got way out ahead of the Jeffersons after a while. They were neck and neck for a while. But then Mary Tyler Moore pulled ahead. But there were many, many songs submitted to us as favorites. And just because you didn't hear yours in the countdown does not mean it's not one of the best TV theme songs of all time. And we want you to feel heard. And so, here's a list of all the TV theme songs submitted to the Pop Culture Preservation Society as people's favorites. People let us know what is their favorite, and here are all the votes they submitted. That Girl, starring Marlo Thomas, Good Times, Chips, The Hardy Boys, The Waltons, Moonlighting, Family Ties, MASH, Love American Style. I tried not to sing it. I did that on purpose. Love American Style. Okay, I couldn't do it. Gilligan, Laverne and Shirley, WKRP, The Rockford Files, All in the Family, Taxi, Barney Miller, which has one of the most recognizable bass lines, I think, of all time, really. Do, 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 do. Bosom Buddies. What is Bosom Buddies? Do you remember?
If I heard it, I would, but I can't.
I think it's a song. I don't think it's...
Oh, it's yeah, it is.
You don't remember
it's the
the
Billy
show?
Joel song. It's My
Billy
Life.
Joel.
It's Billy Joel, My Life.
Yes, it's My Life. Got it. Dallas, The Muppet Show, Little House on the Prairie, BJ and the Bear, which we used to call BJ and the Boobs. The Facts of Life, The Monkees, Hawaii Five-0, The Odd Couple, The Brady Bunch, Beretta, The Courtship of Eddie's Father, Welcome Back, Kotter, The Greatest American Hero, Sanford and Son, Cheers, Hill Street Blues, SWAT, Heart to Heart, Alice, which thank you for reviving Alice for me, Michelle, because that really is a fantastic theme song. Happy Days, Love Boat, Three's Company, The Jeffersons, The Partridge Family, 8 is Enough, One Day at a Time, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, The Bob Newhart Show, China Beach, which I think was a Motown song, The Bugaloos, They're in the air and everywhere, Sigmund and the Sea Monster, and Johnny and Scott are friends, The Beverly Hillbillies, Sesame Street, The Electric Company. And there are a couple things that I have to bring up that didn't get a single vote that kind of surprised me. Mr. Rogers, nobody said.
What? Yeah.
Nobody said Mr. Rogers. Nobody said the Munsters, which is like the surf rock thing. Right. Batman, which is pretty iconic.
Yeah, very.
Do you guys remember Square Pegs?
Yeah, I remember the show.
Square pegs, square pegs, square pegs. Oh. Like, oh my God.
Right.
Square pegs, square pegs. That was by the Waitresses. And then we did talk about making it. No, I'm the only one who said anything about making it with the Dr. Pepper guy. Yeah. Angie. Do you remember the theme song to Angie? It was by Maureen McGovern, and that actually charted too. That was, I think, a number 8 song.
It wasn't Angie Baby by Helen Reddy.
That was my mistake. I just made the assumption that Angie Baby by Helen Reddy was about the show Angie, about Donna Pescow. But no, it was not.
Yeah. I have a big one that got left off the list. So I'm going to put this on as an honorable mention.
Okay. And was it on your list? Was it on your top 10?
I didn't put it on my list only
because
I didn't want to be ridiculed. But it's a very honorable mention that cannot be left unmentioned. It was one of my very favorite theme songs of all time. It's a bit of a sleeper, but I am very proud that I can still sing the entire thing, you guys. It's seriously like my adult party trick. Do you want to know what it is?
Yes, do it.
Well, you know what? I'm going to sing it.
Okay.
And I'm going to sing the entire thing. I'm going to sing it sped up. And so don't even try to cut me off. All right.
Okay. I'm going to try really hard to keep my mouth shut.
For those of you listening out there, I know for certain there are many of you who will know this when I start singing it and who are going to be shouting it out. So please, I'm encouraging you, sing along with me. Please. I need some backup. Okay. So here we go. Picture this. And you guys, I don't even have to look these words up, but picture this. There's, a solo spotlit piano and an empty bar and some very mediocre vocals at best. Okay. Something magic in the way you hold me in your eyes. Here comes the female who we hate. No one ever warned me, love just takes you by surprise. Both sing. Don't know what's come over me. You got me hypnotized when you look at each other. Look at me. Music swells. You look at me. Soft as any touch can be. And suddenly there's magic when you look at me. I feel like I'm in heaven every moment when, harmonize, you look at me. Key change. You look at me. Music swelling. And suddenly I'm captured in your eyes. Here come the drums. Here comes the horns. You look do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Me dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. They're holding out the last note. Me, and then everybody's applauding.
Okay. I thought, oh yes, I know exactly what that is, and then I thought I was going to sing along, and now I have no fucking idea what that is.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know what that is. What is that?
What was that?
What was
the theme song from Joanie Loves Chachi?
Oh, wait. Do Scott Baio and Aaron Moran sing that song?
Yeah.
Look at me, soft as any touch could be, and suddenly there's magic when you look.
Scott Baio sings it in the theme. He sings it to Aaron Moran, but in real life, he was singing it to me. And he sings, there's something magic in the way you hold me in your eyes. And I want you guys to go back and watch it. And I want you to notice how off key he is. At the time, I thought he was the best singer ever. Did you guys not watch Joanie Loves Chachi religiously?
Yeah, sure. I watch it.
You know what? Everybody listening, I'm going to have to find a new job. That's it. I'm going to throw up all my papers in the air. Can I just beg you, those of you out there who knew that song that are listening, even if you couldn't sing it with me, if you knew it, please let me know, because I'm feeling very alone here in my closet.
Oh my goodness. And that, my friends, concludes our countdown of the top 10 television theme songs in all the land. Thank you for joining us. And remember to keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
And join us next time for what might be my favorite episode that we'll ever do. We will be preserving the 70s version of reality TV, Battle of the Network Stars.
And if you know a fellow Gen Xer who would enjoy this show, please share our countdown with them. And make sure to tag us when you do. And we're sure you are already subscribing or following where you listen. But if you're not, please do. It makes a huge difference in if we get heard. Also, leaving a rating or review would be really helpful. And we'd appreciate you forever and ever.
In the meantime, let's raise our glasses for a toast. Straight from the apartment of Jack Tripper, Janet Wood, and Chrissy Snow, where the kisses are hers and his. 2 good times.
2 happy days.
To Little House on the Prairie.
Cheers.
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 Information, opinions, and comments expressed on the Pop Culture Preservation Society podcast belong solely to me, the Crushologist, and Carolyn and Hello Newman, and are in no way representative of our employers or affiliates. And though we truly believe we are always right, I guess there's always a first time. The PCPS is written, produced, and recorded at Modern Well, a woman-centered co-working space in Minneapolis, Minnesota, home of the fictional WJM studios and our beloved Mary Richards. Nanu Nanu, keep on truckin', and may the force be with you.
We get a happy feeling when we're singing a song.